Oh my God, we already broke it.
All right, so car's in the shop now. It's been sitting for an hour or so. The exhaust is cooled off enough where I can touch it without burning my fingertips off. So let's get it up in the air, let's get the exhaust out, let's get to the drive shaft, and then we'll probably record a little bit of a close-up in there to show exactly what's loose or what I think the problem is, and then we'll go to replacing it. So I don't know if y'all remember, but my last set of wheels had a problem with getting cut up. Can't see nothing in there. I'll have to take the wheel off and get a better look in there, but the outer piece here kept on getting cut by this fender well. No matter how much of it I rolled the fender well, it continued to cause a problem. I didn't see it for a while, but I'll say that today was probably my hardest day of drifting on the these new set of wheels. And wouldn't you know it, it cut this tire too. So I've got to take a look at the brakes on this car. They're squeaking a little bit. But while it's up in the air and I'm looking at the brakes, I'm going to probably do some filing down. I found 2 pieces of metal that are up in here. I'll show that better with the tire off. But I think that's actually what's cutting it. It's like once the tire gets articulated and then the suspension starts to hit, it kind of seems that's what's doing the cutting with it. Because it's a very, very sharp edged cut, that went like up into the tire. So you hate to see this with brand new tires, but I kind of expected it a little bit. But hopefully sanding that stuff down or filing that stuff down will correct it so we don't have to worry about completely destroying a tire. Right there. Those 2 pieces are metal and they're bending and they have clear rub marks. Well, clearly they've bottomed out the suspension a lot. But I believe those right there are the things that are cutting the tire up. So I'm gonna take a file to them and just kind of file them as flush as I can get them and then see if it has any positive impact. I've rolled these fenders a number of times and it definitely helped, but I don't have any more roll left. So yep, we'll start with filing these down and see if it has any positive impact and then kind of go from there. Well, it seems that every time we jack this car up, the differential leak is substantially worse. It's still coming out from the exact same spot. It's just weeping out of this side. Other side over here is dry. Yeah, so it's just this seal right here. Just this seal on this side. It's weeping out through that and coming down here and then making gloop marks. Well, we will run this this differential till it gives up. It was very cheap. It was an easy, quick solution to get a good, consistent drift, so it's still serving its purpose. Although it's leaking, I don't see it really becoming a huge issue. If I have this diff on here for like a year, maybe I'll pop this off and top her up with some fluid. But yeah, I'm not super concerned about it. It is just comical to me that every time I jack this thing up, the leak is worse. I guess it's kind of how it goes, especially if you're gonna beat on it. But come on, I thought we had an agreement. You just leak a little bit for a long time.
Okay, so now with the oh my god, we already broke it. Oh my gosh. As you can see, it is completely broken through. Wow, I really thought that was gonna last longer. I'm sure the bearing is still fine, but yeah, look at that, dude. That is ridiculous. So that hard noise we're hearing is that right there. No shit, that's what we're hearing. Okay, well, let's get that old one off of there. If I remember correctly, it is just loosening this, and then I can pull this whole thing off, and then I can slide this off. And then I can take a little trimmer, trim up everything on this bearing that's not important. Could also maybe cut this and save some time here, but we'll see. It depends on what's easiest. I'll try this first to just kind of like take this and then shift it backwards so that the thing can fall out of the way. But yeah, I'm a bit surprised. So the stock center support bushing, if you plan to do anything aggressive with the car and you have around 450 horsepower, don't even try it. Not for science, not for curiosity. It's not worth the effort, because here I am less than 1,000 miles later swapping this thing out for what I already had in it because I didn't want to tear up something that was brand new. I just had a little more hope for this thing, but hope was misplaced. So let's get it swapped out for what we know that works and get the exhaust back together. Okay, my original plan was to separate the drive shaft and just so I could pull this out. I'm not gonna do that because I forgot that to do that I've got to take these out so I can get this whole shaft out of the way. That's just extra bolts. So I'm gonna get my handy dandy removal tool called a grinder and or a cutter, angle grinder, whatever you wanna call it. Cut a notch in here so that I can just unbolt it, flip it around, and then drop it down. Get it out of the way. And then the JXB doesn't have to have anything because it's a clamshell. It goes on in 2 pieces. So we'll cut this out of the way instead of going through all the trouble of removing the drive shaft just because lazy. Don't feel today. No thank you. Why do many step when few step do job?
I waste time, say lot word when few word do trick.
All right, so got this off. Like I said, just cut a little notch out of it. You can pull it off the little input shaft here. So now what we're gonna do is take a razor blade and this stuff right here. We're gonna shave that down and just get down left to this like hard puck that's kind of the center. It's the like rubber casting that's around the bearing itself, and that's what we're gonna clamp to with our JXB thing. The bearing itself is okay. Like when I try to see if there's play in it, I don't feel any play in the bearing itself, so I don't think that there's any damage to that. I do have the fresh one that came off of the old drive shaft that I've replaced. That is a good bearing, so if I do end up needing it, I do have one, but I do think this one's gonna be okay. All right, it's that simple. Just a little haircut off the top there. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's rubber, it's kind of hard to cut. And honestly, I've found that even if you have some high spots, it kind of grips onto the bushing itself. Where's it at? It grips onto that bushing a little bit better because there's kind of a groove in it, in the bushing itself that kind of like centers on this. So yeah, let's get that JXB on there and we'll be good to go. Okay, JXB is installed. I did not make the same mistake twice. Go me. It feels significantly better, obviously. So this is just a testament to the JXB. I can't say enough good things about it. I had went to it from a broken center support bushing. I liked it. I had the street setup, the street style bushings in there. I went and did track stuff and realized that I did not like the street style bushings, so I did, these are the track bushings in here now, and it's the only bushing that I will run in it. So, and then of course, you know, I tried again on a brand new stock one to see how long it'd last, and we see where that got me. So if you're gonna do anything performance-y with your, you know, with your car, especially if it's got like, you know, 450 plus horsepower, probably even 400 plus horsepower, I would highly recommend one of these because it's taken a beating and it's not shown any sign of wear and tear at all. And if you do wear these out, they're only like 30 bucks to get a new set of them because your clamshell will never wear out. That's the beauty of the clamshell, is you can just put a new bushing in there. So, can't say enough good things about JXB. Not sponsored or anything by them. I just think they have a good product. So, now with that on, time to put the exhaust back on and then we'll be good to go. So, not a super intensive job today, just intense enough to be annoying, basically. Okay, JXB center support bushing is back in the car. Should have just done that to begin with and not have to fight with any of this, but it's here nor there. We have a great data point that the stock center support bushing will not survive 1,000 miles of rough driving with 450-ish horsepower. So JXB setup's in there, we got the exhaust back in, everything's torqued down, ready to go. So let's just go do a quick test drive around the block, make sure that everything's tight. I'm pretty confident this is going to be good, but you never know until the test drive's over. So I forgot to record, obviously that's why we're here. This is a little update. I had the GoPro on my head, hit record, did not check if I had actually hit it. In fact, I did not.
It's like he's not even trying!
So, the JXB center support bushing definitely improved the vibration. Obviously, how could it not? But I guess in installation, something got like cocked a little bit, or is just in some sort of a unique bind. Because I get a vibration between like 60 miles an hour and 80 miles an hour. And then if I like really just, you know, put power to it, it'll kind of show up a little bit earlier. So I am hoping that driving it the rest of the week will let it like find a new home with itself. Like it can just figure itself out basically. Probably wishful thinking. If it doesn't, next week we'll crawl back under there and try to get to the center support bushing without taking off the exhaust again, and just manipulate it around a little bit and see if we can figure out why it's creating a little bit of a vibration problem. But I'm confident it's the solution. We just have to tune it a little bit. So appreciate y'all watching and coming along for the journey here, and we'll see y'all next time.